I confuse my natural physiological response and my, like I get so my physiology gets so conditioned to reacting and behaving in a certain way that as soon as it starts, as soon as the stimulus is drawn away from what I'm experiencing, my physiology reacts a certain way, and I start psychologically panicking, and then all of a sudden it just winds up in a whirlpool of bullshit, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what starts it. You know what I'm saying? It's the sort of the nature of it's like feedback. It's like audio feedback. You know, the microphone gets too close to the speaker, and all of a sudden, it just feeding on itself. And anxiety for me is the same thing. It doesn't matter whether, like, I got gas or it's like I got a I don't know. You can think of some kind of anything to put you off. You know, something has put you off, and now you're off, and now everything is just going to cycle through that off thing. You know, that's going to be, and it'll just feed on itself. If the worse I physically feel, then the more negative my thoughts will be. Then that'll make me feel physically worse, and so that'll make me think worse, and then make me feel worse, that make me think worse, and that's the cycle I get caught up in. Because you just end up feeling like such shit that doesn't. Then it's almost impossible for you to even have a good thought because you feel like such puke. You're like, well, I feel like puke, but what can I think of to make me feel better? And it's like you can't see anything good through puke lenses. If you're looking through the lens and the lens is like, God, I feel like absolute shit. Yeah, it's impossible for you to find anything to cheer you up.
I don't know. I just sit there and let myself feel like shit because at that point I've pretty much worked myself up so much that there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just feeling like shit, and that's the bottom line. I'm just gonna feel like shit. I'm gonna be depressed. I'm gonna be anxious, and there's nothing I can fucking do about it at that point. I just gotta let it do what it does.
Yeah, well, that would almost work for me because that's sort of what I do when I can. And then I just head for the couch and just say, well, I'm going to try to sleep it off or whatever. But what if you got to do something? Then it only gets worse because it's like, oh, fuck, I got to show to this, or I got to show up for work, or I got to do something else. And it's like, I feel like shit and I don't want to do it. And I'd rather just club everybody with a rock. And it's, it's just so, and you have to, and you say, okay, I'll be civilized, and I won't kill everybody with a rock, but damn it, I don't want to do this. And once you keep doing that, I don't want to do this thing, that gets part of that conditions you over time. It does. You just become more and more alienated towards everything. You hate everything. And eventually you're, me. And you're fucked. You're just, I'm never going to be able to be a regular human again. It just sucks.
Yeah, I'm really bad with that in traffic, especially. If you ever drive in traffic, I don't know if you've driven lately in traffic, but dear God, it's fucking horrible. It's just like, get the fuck out of the way, goddammit, stupid stop signs, and you get pissed off at everything, and it works itself up until you've had like an aneurysm, a psychological aneurysm. Ugh. Anyway, I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah, well, that was part of my anxiety. I found all kinds of ways around things. And like at school, I would find ways around the hallway. So I'd walk around the building to avoid a hallway where I'd be trapped in that crowd of people, between classes, all those fucking people. And so I just avoid that by walking around the building. And I used to do that with, driving to work. I would take the back roads. Just for that reason, you know what I mean? Because I don't want like people in front of me and people behind me, and yeah, that's like being stuck in an airplane or something. It's just, oh, fuck this. I mean, you're right, there's no exit. I can't just get out of the car and walk away, and fuck it. Yeah, school wasn't much fun. I didn't have much fun at school. But there was girls there, damn it. And the girls, I mean, I still got the memories, I mean, I love that stuff. You just think back, like, oh yeah, I remember that girl in the white sweater. She was sitting there by the window, and oh man, Jesus, fucking, she had that soft hair. I wanted to stroke it. I mean, I feel like sometimes I feel like that retarded mice of men or something. Oh fuck, I'm so simplistic. I'm just so, yeah, I'm just so owned by the little soft rabbit. you know.
I actually loved school. I mean, not school, high school. Before high school, it was horrible. But in high school, I made two friends, two girls, and we would hang out. I mean, it was so much fun. It's like 4 years. There were no boys around. I mean, the high school was almost 95% something girls' high school, and we didn't have any dramas. We skipped classes. We hang out all the time. It was fun. It was like some of the best years I had.
Yeah, that's sort of a bunch of lesbian stories or something. Somebody posted a video on Vlogger. It was kind of funny.
No.
They had like some TV thing from like 1950, like the Mickey Mouse show or something. But it had like these three girls, you know, and they did this wheel thing where like one's holding on to the other and holding on to the other, and like their faces are in each other's crotches, and they're spinning around in a circle as they go off stage. You know, it was like, you know, one of these acrobatic things, you know. But it's just so funny because I was just thinking about all the television, how every single like innocent thing that ever happened on TV, I was always pervert. You know, I was always stripping the girls down naked, thinking about, well, I wonder what happens if this, and you know, I wonder if you fuck her like upside down and backwards, and what that. Oh, I wonder what she looks. Oh, you know, I was just, oh, it was terrible. You know, just terrible.
I don't know. I don't remember, seeing like real bullying in high school. Probably because it was an all-girls high school and the teachers were very strict with this kind of things. I mean, if they picked on one girl and that girl went to the head of principal, whatever his name was, the rest got in trouble. But I mean, there was of course the popular girls, and there were the nerds, and then there were us. I mean, we hardly went to classes. It was like maybe 5 or 6 classes out of 12 that I attended regularly, and the rest of them was just fun. We just skipped classes all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different world, I guess, in a way. I mean, I just can't even imagine it. You know, if I went to an all-boys school, I mean, life would have just been. I certainly would have jumped in front of a car. I mean, there's no way I could have gone to school if there was no girls at school. Oh hell, why? Why would I? Why would you put up with any of it? It's just that what a horror. Ugh.
Yeah, that's basically why I took Spanish, and also took Latin because there was this rule at our high school that if you went to the Olympics, you couldn't be expelled. So the three of us, I mean, in our class, we had to go to the Olympics and we had to take optional classes. Like I took Spanish and Latin just so we wouldn't be expelled. But high school was never about study, was just about fun.
Yeah, well, you learn shit, no? you know, it's just about getting stoned for me, and I didn't. Jeez, I wasted. High school was just such a waste.
There were some classes that I absolutely loved, like the history, basically because of the teacher. The history teacher was awesome, and universal literature teacher was also awesome. But there were some classes that I just felt retarded, like in math. I mean, I was pretty good at theory, but when it came to formulas and calculations and all that kind of stuff, I simply felt retarded. I was looking at that board and everybody were with their hands up, and answering and figuring them out, and I just couldn't understand shit. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I just think I don't have a brain for numbers.
Yeah, well, it's funny you bring that up because it just kind of dates me, but they invented computers, when I was in high school, and and that was it was the last year of high school, and the school bought its first computer, its first official computer, and it was just an adding machine, but it was a computer. You put cards in it, punched holes in the cards and put the cards in, and I yeah, I love that. And that was the first time I really loved high school. I remember they had this toy once, and they had a toy in this thing called the Resource Center, and I